All right, so let's cover some articles. All right, what is this article? This article is the 10 best chess traps. Chess tricks and traps have always caught the imagination and appreciation of chess fans as long as chess has been played. A nice trap shows tactical ideas, combinations, and fascinating concepts that capture our attention and stand the test of time. The traps in this article will give you ideas to try in your own games. All right. The top 10 traps. Let's see, how many of them do I know? We have the Noah's Ark Trap. We have the Legal Trap. We have the Cambridge Springs Trap, the Lasker Trap, the Rubenstein Trap, the Siberian Trap, the Fajarowicz Trap, the Blackburn Shilling Trap, the Englund Gambit Trap, and the Fishing Pole Trap. Okay, so the ones that I know of based on the names right off are I believe Legal Trap is a joke from that Stephen Hawking video, if I'm not mistaken. What I do know is I know the Cambridge Springs Trap based on the name. I know the Fajarowicz Trap. I know the Blackburn Shilling, Englund Gambit, Fishing Pole. I know as well. So I believe I know 5 of these. I probably know the other traps as well, but just not by the names that they're given here. Okay, so let's start off. I had to adjust ceiling stockfish. No, it's just a little bit hot in here, so I just turned on the AC. Number 1, Noah's Ark Trap. Okay, let's start with Noah's Ark Trap. The Noah's Ark Trap is all about trapping white's light square bishop after a series of forcing moves. This trap is for black in the Rui Lopez opening. See, now I do know this trap, but not by this name. So you start out with the Spanish. Okay, pretty normal. And then you go b5, knight d4, takes, queen d4, and c5. And after queen d5, bishop e6, check back, queen d5, c4. Your bishop gets trapped, and you lose the bishop on b3. Okay, so this is pretty normal, not too crazy. This is just classic trap of the bishop, but I don't know why it's called the Noah's Ark Trap. I would expect the Noah's Ark Trap to be like the trap that's like, I don't know, like you can't move any of your pieces or something. I don't know. I would expect to be like where you can only move like a knight or something. Like you have no moves because the flood is coming and whatnot. But anyway, all right. So Noah's Ark Trap. I know of this trap, but not by this name. Number 2, the Legal Trap. The Legal Trap. This trap is all the way from the 18th century, named after Sire de Legal. The favorite trap for most chess players involves a beautiful queen sacrifice. Yeah, so I know this one, but not specifically. I guess I do actually know it by the name because this was the mate in the video. But e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, d6, knight c3, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, knight takes e5, bishop d1 takes, king e7, knight d5, checkmate. Pretty standard, standard checkmate. Which I've seen before. In fact, I think it's been featured by GMHikaru on some of his posts. Maybe let me see if I can pull this up. For example, you guys, let's just pull this up very briefly. As you guys can see, there's this picture of GMHikaru, and as you can tell, this looks like a very similar position with a classic checkmate here. So as you see, of course, even GMHikaru himself gets into it by doing this Instagram picture with the Legal checkmate here. And of course, we have our great sponsor of the stream. We have G Fuel itself, of course. Make sure to use code Hikaru when you go to gfuel.com, and you can get up to 30% off on a variety of flavors. My personal favorite, of course, is PewDiePie. All right. Anyway, let's keep going along with the 10 best traps. All right. Let's keep going. Number 3 is the Cambridge Springs Trap. The Cambridge Springs Trap comes out of a popular sequence of moves in the Queen's Gambit declined. So this one, of course, I've seen before. This is d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, knight bd7. And here white mistakenly thinks that after takes, knight d5, there's a pin of the bishop on g5 to the queen on d8 here. So you're just going to be up 1 pawn. Instead, black takes. And after bishop d8, black has a nasty move, bishop to b4 check. Only way to get the king out of check is to block with the queen. And after takes king d8. Black simply has an extra knight for 1 pawn in the center of the board. All right, so that's the third one. I'm familiar with that one. Lasker Trap, I suspect I know of, but probably not by the name. So let's keep going. Number 4 is the Lasker Trap. Why don't I have my own flavor? Because you guys haven't used enough of my code to buy G Fuel, you guys. If enough people use the code, I will get my own flavor. All right, number 4 is the Lasker Trap. The Lasker Trap is named after the second world champion Emanuel Lasker. The best part of this trap is that involves the rare under promotion to a knight. Black plays the Alban counter gambit to face White's Queen's Gambit. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so yeah, I know this one, but not by the name. Right, so this one starts d4, d5, c4, e5, This is the Alban counter gambit. Pawn takes, black goes d4, and here white plays a very strange move, which is pawn to e3. Nowadays this trap is very well known, so it doesn't happen that often, but anyway, in the game, e3 is played, bishop b4, bishop d2, pawn takes, bishop b4. Now black plays pawn takes, pawn check, king to e2, and now black is a very nice move. Pawn takes g1, under promoting to a knight, and after white moves the king, queen h4, king d2, and like knight c6, and black's just completely winning. But the point of it is that you under promote where you take and make a knight. Now whether this is specifically from the Alban counter gambit or not, I guess it's not, because it says it's a trap that involves a rare under promotion to a knight. That being said, of course, Grandmaster Hikaru, another famous chess player, actually had a very famous under promotion where he was basically able to push a pawn to the end of the board, under promote to a knight. And again, everybody's seen this video, but we will show you guys the classic under promotion to a knight. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pop that up as well. Let me see if I can find that. But yes. Any askers? Yeah, he did. I guess, where is that? Yeah, where is it? See if I can still find it. Does the video not exist anymore? Maybe it doesn't exist. Wait, does it not exist? No, here it is. Okay. What's that? This guy is so platitudinous. Yeah, I'll show it one more time. Everybody's seen the video, obviously, but one more time I'll show it. One more time. I'm in flex mode. Not really, you guys. No, I'm not flexing. Also, for anybody who says that chess is not nerve-wracking or stressful, let's go back. Oh, by the way, this is Yuri Dokoyan, who actually died. He died of COVID a couple months ago. Just, I realized he was in the video. But for anybody who says chess is not nerve-wracking or stressful, look in this right-hand corner. You see Ray Robson here, who's playing his game, and you see his leg is bouncing up and down because he's under pressure. He's got a bad position, and he's very nervous because board 3, I think, was a draw in this match. And Gata on board 2 and myself on board 1, we were pressing very hard in our games. But of course, Ray, if he didn't lose the game, we were almost guaranteed to win this match against Russia. And so you see Ray, like, he's really on edge, really nervous, and so like his legs are bopping up and down. Which one is me? It's kind of hard to see which one is me, right? Very inconspicuous looking person here with a black shirt. But yeah, you can see like Ray is so nervous because if he draws that game, he would have won the match. Is that Dubov? No, it was Grishchuk, I think. Also, by the way, I know I've said most of this I've said before already, so people probably know. But there's a reason that the Russian team captains, and they're all very serious and worried, because in this match, when they lost the match to us, it basically killed their chances of getting a gold medal. And in the process, they lost. I mean, every player would have gotten at least $50,000. So there's a reason these people were not happy, because they basically saw their dreams of making hundreds of thousands of dollars going down the drain in this team match. Yeah, it's drama. That's chess, you guys. Chess is a lot more serious than people realize. Oh, the thing is, I think in this video, you don't actually see my under promotion to a knight, but basically I got a position where I had a knight, a bishop, and a couple of pawns. I think I had knight, bishop, and like 2 pawns or something, and he had a bishop and a couple of pawns, but I was able to under promote a pawn to a knight, so at the end I had 2 knights and a bishop to win the game. So anyway, yeah, but this was just a video. So anyway, just wanted to point that out, but let's get back to the article. So again, it's great to see that that I've been able to actually follow the trend and under promote to a knight. Yeah. Especially in team events, you can't blame me or teammates if you lose. Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, that match, like, you know, it makes the US look silly because obviously we don't have the same rewards for chess that they do in Russia. But the reason all those guys were like so serious and so freaked out and like really upset is because literally when they lost that match to us, They I mean, they lost like as a team, they lost at least like $300,000. So like they're very, very unhappy. I mean, it's chess is life and death. Very, very serious. I mean, you never know, they could always get sent to the gulag too. um but yeah, it's under promoting disrespectful. Sometimes you have to under promote. By the way, though, someone pointed out in chat there's also another good one where I played Shakura Mamedyarov, and I also under promoted to a knight in a situation that it didn't work out, where I ended up losing because of that. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we have number 5. We have the Rubenstein Trap. The Rubenstein Trap is named after another chess giant, Akiba Rubenstein. This subtle trap at the very least wins a pawn, but also can trap the black queen if black is greedy. Okay, so what is this trap? Let's see. D4, D5. Oh, he's cute. This looks like a classic picture out of like, I don't know, like I mean, this looks like a really classic romantic picture. It really does. Like, it's just like, this is like such a picture of the times. Okay, D4, D5, Knight of 3. I mean, like, I can't imagine myself ever wearing like, I could never wear clothes like this, even if you wanted me to. I couldn't do it. His mustache, what's that? His mustache has what? Oh yeah, the mustache is pretty. What is that from? Aren't there like a bunch of old like black? Don't they do a bunch of like old like caricatures of like Wild West movies, and the guy has like an insane mustache? That stash is pretty amazing. That's an S tier stash. That is an S tier stash for sure. All right, that popped collar. Yeah, he's got the mustache and the popped collar. I didn't think popped collars were a thing back then. This is probably from like the 1920s or 30s. I thought popped collars became a thing much later on. Anyway, enough fashion talk. Let's keep going. So C4, E6, Bishop G5. Okay, Knight B7. New fit for your next OTB. No, I would never wear that. This guy is fashion. He should be on a bicycle built for 2. Also true. Yeah, with that look, that's totally. You're absolutely right. He should be on that bicycle with the huge wheel and the super small wheel. Okay, so Knight B7, Queen's Gambit declined. E3, Bishop E7, Knight C3. Castles, Rook C1, Rook E8, Queen C2, A6, takes, Bishop D3. Okay, all pretty normal. C6, castles, Knight E4, Bishop F4, F5, Knight takes D5. Oh, it's this trick. Okay, so this trick you see in a wide variety of ranges in the Queen's Gambit decline. But yeah, this is a trick where you're able to take the pawn on D5, black takes, and there's a Bishop C7. It's a pretty well-known trap. I didn't know it was named after Rubenstein, but I've seen it quite a few times. All right, let's keep going. Number 6, what do we have? We have the Siberian Trap. This trap in the Smith-Morra Gambit has claimed many victims of all levels. It seems as though white is just making natural developing moves, and then all of a sudden loses the queen or gets checkmated. Right. So it goes E4, C5 takes, Knight C3. This trap, by the way, the Siberian Trap, I would say is not specific to the Sicilian Smith-Morra. Because I've seen this idea in many different lines. So it's where white plays H3, Knight D4, and now your defender of the H2 square gets undermined by the knight on D4. And after you take, there's Queen H2 mate. If you move, like, I guess if you move your queen away, for example, yeah, Queen D1, black takes, and again you get checkmated. So this trap exists in many different openings, not just the Sicilian Smith-Morra. But anyway, it's a pretty good trap. All right, what's next? Number 7, the Fajarowicz Gambit. So this is pretty well known. The sneaky trap comes out of the Budapest Gambit opening. Black ends up sacrificing 2 minor pieces in order to win the white queen. So D4, Knight F6, C4, E5, takes Knight E4, Knight F3, D6. And now here white takes, and after Bishop D6, there's this move G3. White's up a pawn. You figure if you fianchetto the bishop to G2, castle the king, you're better. But here black is a very nasty move. Knight takes F2, king takes F2, and now bishop takes G3. And now you lose the queen. It's fossilized on D1 because your king is in check on F2 by the bishop on G3. And after you take, black will just take the queen on D1 next move. All right, number 8. We have the Blackburn Shilling Trap. In this trap, black violates all the basic opening principles in order to catch white off guard. At first, it looks like black is playing careless moves, but after 5 queen takes G2, you can see who is really in trouble. This trap comes out of the Italian game, or the Juco Pianissimo. So E4, E5. Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4, Knight D4. Bad move, but again, sometimes white doesn't know it, doesn't realize, and white tries to grab the juicer on E5. So after knight e5, there's queen to g5, knight takes f7, queen takes g2, rook f1, queen takes e4, bishop to e2, and now black is knight to f3. Very beautiful checkmate. As everybody knows, the Blackburn Shilling, I've been playing it a little bit here and there in our latest speed run we're doing, with tricks only. So make sure to check that out if you haven't seen that already. But this is a pretty classic checkmate that can occur. Again, this is when white plays a Gucci piano with with knight f3 and bishop c4, and black does not respond with bishop c5 or knight f6. Okay, so let's keep going. Number 9, the Englund Gambit Trap. Black bravely or carelessly meets 1d4 with 1e5. This is about as provocative as you can get when playing an opening as black. This trap has several neat tactical ideas and ends in black checkmating white, despite not that many pieces being exchanged. All right. So yeah, how does this go? So it's d4, e5. D takes e5, knight c6, pretty normal. Knight f3, queen e7, bishop f4, queen b4, takes queen b2. And now here, as we know with modern theory, after knight to c3, white should be doing very well. I've lost, maybe not even lost, but I've struggled in a lot of games in the tricks only speed run after they play knight c3. However, sometimes players don't realize that and they go bishop to c3. And now black is the nasty move, bishop to b4, queen to d2, bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, and now black goes queen c1, which is a very nasty checkmate. The king on e1 is stuck. It cannot move anywhere, and I will capture it next move, so the game ends. All right, last but not least is number 10, the fishing pole trap. So ending the series of traps with another fun move against the Ruy Lopez. The knight on g4 is the bait, and the pawn on h5 is the fishing pole, waiting to catch someone off guard. This trap is fun to try in your online or in-person blitz games. So e4, e5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6 castles, knight g4, h3, h5. The fishing pole. So as everybody knows with the fishing pole, when you go fishing, of course, you got to get your bait. You have to have the right rod and the reel. You just, cast your pole over, out at the Malibu Pier, and you spend all day there waiting to catch some fish. Hopefully you catch something. And you're just sitting there waiting. So it's like, you're just dangling this little knight on g4 here. And of course, white captures it because, of course, it's the bait. I mean, of course, as everybody who is fishing and, who has been to Bass Pro Shops knows, you got to go and you got to make sure you use the live fishing bait. If it's not live fishing bait, generally you're going to have a lot less success. Okay, so pawn takes knight, pawn takes pawn. White goes knight to e1, queen to h4, and now f3 is played. After it's played here, you go g3, d4, and now queen to h2, checkmate. Now, the fishing pole exists in many iterations. This is not the only one. So if I go back to live chess, very, very quickly, let me change the scene. Give me a second. Let me just do an analysis board. There are many variations of the fishing pole. Another variation of the fishing pole, which is a legitimate variation line in the Spanish, is e4, e5, knight 3, knight 6, bishop b5, a6, takes, castles, bishop to g4, h3. And here black can also play h5. Now, this is a legitimate variation that is played in top-level chess. There have been many games played with this bishop g4 and h5 line. So this is another variation of the fishing pole where basically you dangle the bait here and you hope that white takes. And after takes, if white takes the pawn, you go queen h4, threaten mate on h2, h1. You can't move the rooks on queen h1 is mate, so you have to go f4, try to create lift for the king. But after g3, if you play like knight f3 to stop this mate, then I go h1. And if you go, I guess, rook e1, there's always a checkmate. There's no way to prevent it, but this is one version of a fishing pole that is actually legitimately played in top-level chess with bishop g4 and h5 in the exchange Spanish. All right, back to the article. Okay, there we go. So fishing pole exists in many iterations. All right, so those are the 10. Those are the 10. What they call it? They call it the 10 best chess traps, and I think they're pretty good. I would say some of them are a little bit too high class in my opinion, but overall I do like them.